When I first came here some years ago, I was
17.
God bless you, Rich. I was very lonely. I had lived my whole life in New York, except for going away to school, and I had been in the theater since I was 8 years old. And as far as I was concerned, theater existed in New York, theater existed in London. I'd worked in both places, and I didn't believe that anything else would work for me. But I moved here for a lot of reasons, partly to get away from theater. Well, I know how tough it is. But I came down here, and there were just a few theaters then. It wasn't even the 14 theaters that were when the awards began 28 years ago. There were about 5 theaters working then. And I found a connection. I went to the Folger, I went to Arena, and we had these wonderful times and started to meet people. And it was the theater that finally made me believe that I could live in Washington. And now, this room filled with stars, filled with magnificent artists, with people who pay to make this happen. I don't know what Washington would do without you. I certainly don't know what I would do without you. You are such a huge part of my life. Theater Washington is an idea that is a long time in coming, and something that I think that Washington Theater needs. And something else that Washington Theater needs is an extraordinary woman who has about 28 hours in the day that she fills with her work. I'd like to ask Linda, are you somewhere nearby?
I am.
Linda Levy, ladies and gentlemen.
I am by your side always. Welcome. Thank you so very much for coming. It is so terrific to see so many nominees of all ages from so many theaters right here with us, that we can celebrate all of you guys tonight. Well, it's Passover. And that's why we had you here this evening. This is the third Seder. So in addition to my love of chocolate matzah, 'tis the season to ask 4 questions that you might be thinking about as well. Number 1, why are we here tonight? Number 2, what does it mean to be a Helen Hayes Award nominee? 3, what's going to happen at the Helen Hayes Awards? 4, why does theater even matter? Okay, the answers. Question 1. If you are a nominee, you are here tonight because you demonstrated truly outstanding work. Work that was regarded as such by a panel of judges, of Helen Hayes Awards judges who were assigned to see the production for which you were nominated. Now the rest of us are here tonight because we applaud your talent. And we want you to know how much we value each and every one of your contributions to Washington Theater. Question 2, what does it mean to be a Helen Hayes Award nominee? It means you have a respected credential that will promote your work as an artist. It means you can put it in bios and press releases and blogs. It means that you can send it out on Facebook and Twitter to your devoted friends and followers. And it means that you get a better table at Mickey's Backstage Bar. At question 3, at the Helen Hayes Awards, you will be the belles of the ball. 26 categories for artistic excellence presented by members of the theater profession and political, media, and artistic celebrities. Your category will be read. You might hear your name called. You'll run down the aisle. Not to worry, there will be foot soldiers by the steps who will help you up there. You'll be handed your Helen Hayes Award by one of the esteemed presenters. And then, in 90 seconds or less, you will thank your acting coaches and your colleagues and your mothers. Question 4, and your mothers, who drove you to all those rehearsals.
That's right.
Okay. Question 4, why does theater even matter? It is a question for the ages. Now, many of your colleagues and other luminaries have already shared why theater matters to them. and we want to know why theater matters to you. So we don't have an answer to this question. We have lots of answers to this question. All you need to do is submit about 100 words, and we're going to post one Why Theater Matters every day on our website, www.theaterwashington.org, between now and the end of Theater Week, which is kicking off at the Helen Hayes Awards on April 23rd and running through April 29th. I want to give our great thanks to Mickey Beara and his crew here at Mickey's Backstage at Rivers. They are extraordinary. To our dear friend and great leader, the chairman of our board of directors, Victor Shargai, for making this evening possible at all. And our tireless staff and our devoted volunteers.
So if you win, who do you have to thank?
So many people put me on the spot. I guess first I have to thank my my comedic troupe, my comedic acting troupe, the Eat Meters. That's Jillian Green, Nicholas Vaughn, and Darius Smith. Just for keeping me grounded, you know. But then my mother, of course, Michael Bobbitt.
What is it like to work with Michael Bobbitt? I know he is a fireball of talent. So tell me a little bit about what it's like to work with him.
It's great working with him. My fondest memory of working with him is doing Mirandy and Brother Wind at Adventure Theater, actually. He just stepped up and he did so much on the production side as well as like the directing and choreographing. Like he was just everywhere. And it was very supportive.
Is there a favorite moment in the show where like every day at the Olney Theater you're like, I cannot wait for this scene. This is my favorite scene in the whole show. Is there a moment like that for you?
Yes, there is a moment when we come out and sing Do Re Mi. It's very spectacular and amazing, and it feels really good to sing it.
Very good. Now, if you win, is there anybody that you would like to thank? Imagine you're at the ceremony right now, and you have 30 seconds to thank everybody that has made this moment possible. Go ahead.
I would say I thank Mark Waldrop for directing such an excellent play, and Jessica Ball for being a very good Maria, and George Dvorsky for being the best Captain Von Trapp.
Okay, did you have any parental support with this? I mean, who's taking you to rehearsals?
My mom and dad, we live in Frederick, and it's a very long drive to Olney, and they drove me every rehearsal, and it was very nice of them to do that.
I bet they can't wait until you drive, right?
Yeah, definitely.
The reason that we decided to do this together was there was a number called Run and Tell That, which is primarily done by the African American group, and I thought it needed a much younger, kind of different twist to it, which is where she came in, because she can do a lot of that, and I thought this is a perfect opportunity for us to work together. So we came up with some signature moves, obviously, for You Can't Stop the Beat. That went on for 12 minutes, and that was fun, but I think she probably has a couple favorite moves from Run and Tell That, so I'll let her tell you about that.
Favorite moves are hard. I first off, the entire cast are absolutely wonderful to work with. They really kept with us the entire time. And favorite moves, anything low and into the ground. Hip hop a little bit. I did a little step in my days, so there's a few step movements in there. Anything grooving, anything that really hypes it up for them and keeps them going is what really makes it special, and that's what made them love it.
Now, have you two worked together before, or is this the first time that you're choreographing together?
First time professionally, I should say. But since we did Hairspray and it turned out so well together and the collaboration was so great, I brought her along as associate choreographer for Aladdin, which we just choreographed for Disney Creative Entertainment. And she will also be doing Best Little Whorehouse in Texas with me at Signature Theater. And we have First You Dream coming up over at the Kennedy Center, where she'll be assisting me there as well.
Woo, I'm breaking a sweat just hearing how busy you're going to be, but that's wonderful. Congratulations on your nomination, and best of luck.
Thank you so much.
What does it take to really form a good ensemble like you have in The Sound of Music?
Well, everybody has to be there for each other. Is really what a lot of it is about. And some of it's, just being friendly and talking to other people and engaging the other people. And one of the great things we had with Sound of Music was that a lot of people liked cooking for everyone else. You could go in almost every day and there was food.
That's a good deal. What are some of the challenges that you had with the show? whether it be writing or anything else?
I think part of it was that it was such a unique process for all of us. So there was a lot of time navigating the community within our Beertown community. None of us knew what we were doing. So it was a 14-month-long process, and it's actually being remounted again just in a few months. So it's a long time to be working on one, about 2-hour-long play. So there was a lot of stumbling that happened, but it was a lot of fun. It was not having a blueprint, I think, was the challenge.
Well, I'm from Alabama originally, and I grew up singing and dancing in the house all the time. So I just wanted to be on stage singing, dancing, and acting, and it led me to DC, and I've been here ever since.
Any hopes for New York?
Yes, soon. I've been back and forth to New York auditioning, but I'm hoping to move in a couple of months. So fingers crossed.
Okay, yeah, we'll definitely keep our fingers crossed. Can you tell us a little bit about the rehearsal process? Obviously, this ensemble was truly an ensemble. So tell us, what was it like working with everybody else around you? Was it a positive atmosphere?
Oh yes, it was the most positive atmosphere I've ever been a part of. It was like there was no drama, there wasn't any conflict really. It was
Wait, did I hear no drama?
No drama.
Okay, yeah, take my breath away. I've never heard about that before, but I guess that's why you guys have been so successful with this production, is that there was no drama, but I take it lots of fun?
Lots of fun.
My name is Ted Van Griethuysen. I'm nominated 4 things.
Four things?
Yes. Once for outstanding lead performance, lead actor, in the Studios Theater's production of The Habit of Art. And then supporting actor for the Shakespeare Theater's production of Much Ado About Nothing. Then, in a way, it's the thing I'm almost proudest, twice for 2 different ensembles, The Habit of Art and the Walworth Farce, both at the studio.
Now that is true acting, where you can be one role one day.
I know.
How do you keep track of all these roles?
Well, I don't know. You just manage one way or another. I mean, how do you keep track of all the different friends you have, That's it.
What got you into theater? It looks like you've been in theater a good while.
I would find that, I don't know how to answer that question. I was acting in grade school. I think the theater picked me. I don't know. I mean, I was in Oklahoma, for God's sake, and nobody except Pinky Lee ever came out of Oklahoma. Nobody was in the theater. And I got interested very early in a little town of 20,000 people. And I was my first big role was in the 2nd grade. I played the King of the Vowels. Yes. And the Easter Bunny.
And the Easter Bunny.
And it was such a great success, we had to repeat it for the PTA. So that was my first long run.
You have children, you have people of all ages, and so it is a true honor and compliment that everybody was able to work together to really create this wonderful show.
Right, and we had 2 casts of children, so we had, both casts doing beautiful work every night that they came in. So it was.
Was it competitive between the kids to see who is better?
I don't really think so. I think they were all good friends, and sometimes it would happen that some would alternate in and out and be with different casts, and there never seemed to be a sense that one cast was better than the other, and the kids were incredible professionals.
That's good to hear.
Well, I'm Mickey Beara. I'm Vice President of Productions for the Kennedy Center, and Helen Hayes is like a family to me. I was on the board years ago, but my 45 years in Washington, I'm living the American dream.
That's for sure. Hey, seeing theater all the time, what could be better than that?
It's nothing. It's a way of life that's just unbelievable. You get to truly enjoy it. But the people that I have met and I get to meet, and this room is full of them, it just enriches your life. What an incredible industry that we have.
Yeah, theater people are really a shy folk, aren't they?
Well, it's shy because we only use 2 F words, fun and flexibility.
Could you tell us a couple of the highlights of shows that you've seen this year?
Well, working at the Kennedy Center with so many shows coming on stage, when you sit there and watch Holland Taylor doing Ann Richards, and you get to meet her, and you sit back in the room, and you're listening, and just Lawrence Fishburne when doing Thurgood, and you know him, and I sat in the green room just laying back, listening to it is so enriching. And I mean, I could sit here and name all the other shows, but they all are wonderful to me. It's a wonderful, incredible life that I live and be part of so many wonderful people. And that's why I want to turn this bar and restaurant into the backstage of Washington, the same as New York has its famous places. That's why all 80 names are going up. That's why this is going to be a place that they're home. This is family.
Hi, I'm Mary Lee Adams, and I'm nominated for Best Ensemble in Pop.
Tom Story. I'm nominated for Best Actor in a Musical for playing Andy Warhol in Pop, the musical.
And I'm Matthew DiLorenzo, nominated for Supporting Actor playing Candy Darling in Pop the Musical.
Okay, it is quite a year. What a list of nominees. Tell us about the rehearsal process. Was it fun? What were the challenges?
Oh goodness, it was a long road, but I think that we all really bonded together, and it ended up being a fabulous production. So we all became the best of friends too, which you can't ask for more than that.
Okay. No, I would agree with that. It was, if you know anything about Andy Warhol and the Factory, it was not unlike what I imagined the Factory was. Kind of insane, and people cried and laughed and did drugs.
I think creating a new work is always a reward, but also the greatest challenge. And I think we all kind of took this leap together. And I think we're all just happy with the recognition we received for it. Really, it's wonderful.
Now, this is a pretty basic question, but I'm interested. What got each one of you into theater? Why were you drawn to the theater instead of, let's say, being a surgeon?
Well, my mom is an actress, so I grew up watching her, and I was always interested in it, and I admired her, but not really until high school did I really get the theater bug, and I decided that was what I wanted to do.
Well, I actually was going to be a doctor, and but I kept doing plays, and I decided I couldn't be happy without doing that with my life. So I made this choice, and I also grew up in DC, so I grew up in a kind of fertile theater culture, and I saw amazing things here, and I'm just happy to be a part of this community now.
I grew up in a very loud-mouthed Italian family, and so my grandmother was a coloratura soprano, and I've always kind of followed her passion for the arts. And like I was kidding around with them, I was never good at sports, so I kind of followed the other route of the arts, and it's been wonderful ever since.
I don't think people ever kind of realize how much goes into a production, and what almost a miracle it is when something turns out to be good, because so many different things have to come together, and and it's such a strange thing to devote your life to, but it can be such a rewarding thing. But it's also a thing that requires a kind of almost like 100% commitment of your life, and you make lots of sacrifices to do it, and I'm just happy that there's a place where there's enough work to where you can sustain yourself.
It's very nice to be nominated, and it's a wonderful field of nominees. I feel honored to be included in it. I actually saw Paxton Whitehead, who is also nominated in this category, when I was 23 years old.
Well, that was just 2 years ago.
Exactly. In London, in a production of Heartbreak House by George Bernard Shaw with Diana Rigg, and he was stunning, and I have had a crush on him ever since.
Do you have any other shows lined up that you would like to talk about?
I do. I'm about to appear in a play by Stephen Dietz called Lonely Planet at Metro Stage, which is just across the river in Virginia.
If you were to win the award, what would it mean to you?
It's always it's lovely to be nominated. It's so difficult for the nominators, actually, because I'm sure it's very much comparing apples and oranges, most of the time. And but for me, it would mean I've sort of invested my career in Washington theater, and it would be lovely. It would be validation for spending my time here, and which I love, and it would be validation for investing myself in such a strong local theater community.
Now, this is undoubtedly the biggest event of the year, the Helen Hayes Awards, and I don't think people realize everything that you do behind the scenes to make this work. We all know you work hard, but can you tell us a little bit about the daily activities that you do to make this happen?
That's a huge question. There are so many people who make this work. There are so many people, starting with Linda Levy, who make the event what it is, which is a catalyst of Washington theater. Before the Helen Hayes Awards existed, theater people worked in one theater or another theater. Now there's a cross-pollination. You go to Arena, you see somebody you see at Studio, you see somebody you see at Shakespeare, or at Woolley, or at Rorschach. I mean, it's incredible how actors work in Washington. This is what really matters. What we do all year round is we try to work for the theaters to make their magic known, and we're working on a program so that the magic will be known all over the country.
Theater Washington is doing such a great job at really making this a theater community where we all work together, just like you're talking about. And I want you to take this opportunity to say what people can do every day to support the arts, because while the Helen Hayes is the most important event of the year, there's something that people can do every day to keep the arts alive in Washington, D.C.
Oh, what a wonderful, wonderful remark. Yes, every day, even on Mondays, you can go to the theater. And that's what's really wonderful, to go to the theater, to see the play, to get a moment that will live with you perhaps for your whole life. And that's what we want. More than anything, get your butt in a seat and go to the theater.
I think that is fantastic advice. Just go to the theater. And you don't have to go to New York to go see good theater. It's amazing all the high quality theater that's in Washington, D.C., from children's theater to professional theater. We have it here. You don't have to go to New York.
And the closing number of the Helen Hayes Award show presented by Theater Washington this year is Go to the Theater. And it is rousing and wonderful. And the whole show is going to be marvelous, so try to come there too.
It really is that simple. To support the arts, go to the theater and enjoy, and there's something for everybody.
Absolutely.
For people of all ages.
All ages, all ethnicities, all diversities, everything. You can learn so much. I'm an old man now, and I learn every time I go to the theater, and it's a wonderful thing.
If you're an old man tonight, why did they card you?
Oh, I love you. I love you.
First of all, we have been evolving the Helen Hayes Awards into Theater Washington for the last 2.5 years. So we've literally, while we have maintained all of our other operating and programmatic activities, we've also been building a skyscraper known as Theater Washington. And most people didn't know this, but that the Helen Hayes Awards was really just 1/12 of the other programs that we were doing all year long, and those programs have now even grown even more under the banner of Theater Washington. But I mean, programs like we do education programming in DC City schools, and we do professional development and support for theaters and theater artists. We do advocacy work on behalf of really on behalf of theaters, artists, and audiences as well. So there's and our work really year-round about promoting all theaters, to build theater audiences for theaters around the region.
Can you tell us about the award ceremony that's coming up?
Sure, the Helen Hayes Awards. It's going to be on Monday, April the 23rd at the Warner Theater with the post-show ovation gala at the JW Marriott Hotel, which is right nearby. We will be presenting awards in 26 categories for artistic excellence, and these awards will be presented by members of the theater profession as well as some rather notable theater goers, such as Julian Bond and Chris Matthews and Nina Totenberg and several others, people who go to the theater every day just like us and who are proud to stand up there and say, I go to the theater. So there will, but also this year we will be presenting the Helen Hayes Tribute, which is sponsored by our dear friend J. Lee Mead, and it will be presented to Kevin Spacey.
Wow, I am so impressed. Can you talk about Kevin Spacey and what he has contributed to the arts?
Sure, absolutely. In addition to Kevin's artistry as an actor and his vision as the leader of the Old Vic in London and several other organizations with which he has been a part, he is an advocate. He is an outspoken voice about the importance of the arts and how it is a critical factor in our everyday lives, and how without it, life as we know it simply would not be life as we know it without art. And he is passionate about it, he is articulate about it, and his support, I think, has made a tremendous difference.
I think it's wonderful what he does and what you do with the theater community, because it's not just one person that keeps the arts alive. It's you, it's Kevin Spacey, it's Victor, it's the theater goer.
It's so many people. This, when we talk about our theater community, we don't bandy about that word community lightly, because community does mean, of course it means 80 theaters, but it also means the thousands and thousands of artists, of actors, of directors, designers, technicians, craftspeople, carpenters, electricians, company members, administrators, managers, development and communications people who run these theaters tirelessly every single day. Thousands of people who have made their home and their work life right here in the Washington metropolitan area, who believe in this town, who believe in this region, and who contribute to it. And then, of course, when we talk about theater community, the 2.2 million audience members that go to the theater every year. There is no theater without everybody who walks into a theater and sits down in a seat and watches the magic unfold before their eyes.
Do you think the awards really raises the bar for all the theaters to help make them try harder to deliver higher quality shows?
I think that's a difficult question, actually. And I would say I really believe strongly that the value of the awards is not necessarily as something that any artist should strive for. I don't think anybody should create work with the hope that they might get an award at one point in time. Not at all. But when based on a credible process, which the Helen Hayes Awards is, and when one receives that kind of recognition from the group of people that are bestowing it, then when it is used to advance the profile of an individual artist, of a theater, that's where it's incredibly powerful. And to raise the profile not just of individual artists and theaters, but to raise the profile of an entire theater community. Because one night a year, and we hope that that's a lot more than one night a year, that all eyes are shining right here on Washington Theater.